Before you scroll away, pause for a moment. If you recently let go of something important and now feel an unexpected emptiness, this video is not here to motivate you or push you forward. It exists to explain why this space appeared and why it is necessary. Stay with me. What you're feeling is not wrong, and it is not the end. After letting go, most people expect relief to arrive instantly. Instead, emptiness appears. This space feels uncomfortable because it lacks the familiar tension your system lived with for so long. When effort, resistance, and emotional pressure disappear, the body does not know what to do yet. Emptiness is not punishment. It is adjustment. Your nervous system is recalibrating after the absence of constant strain. This emptiness is often confused with loss, but what actually disappeared was noise. For a long time, your inner world was filled with reaction, worry, and effort. When that stops, silence replaces it. The mind interprets silence as danger because it cannot predict from it. Yet this is the first moment your inner environment is no longer dictated by habit or urgency. Identity is often built around struggle. Problems create structure. Tension creates purpose. When both dissolve, a quiet question appears. Who am I without effort? Emptiness surfaces to dissolve identities that were created only to survive. This phase is not about becoming something new yet. It is about unlearning the version of yourself that needed constant pressure to exist. Many people try to escape this emptiness quickly. They fill it with distractions, new goals, or forced motivation. But rushing replaces alignment with avoidance. Emptiness asks for presence, not productivity. If you sit with it, your system slowly regains sensitivity. What once felt dull begins to gain texture again. Avoidance only delays this natural recalibration. The emptiness after letting go is temporary, but it is necessary. It removes emotional momentum so future decisions are not reactions. Without this pause, old patterns return under new names. Stillness is not stagnation. It is the reset point where clarity can emerge without pressure. Direction cannot form while emotional residue is still active. Emotionally, emptiness often feels flat. Not sad, not happy, just neutral. This neutrality scares the mind because it cannot create stories from it. The mind prefers tension because tension feels like movement. But neutrality is stability. It means you are no longer being pulled internally. When emotional charge fades, perception sharpens. You begin noticing what feels aligned instead of what demands attention. If you feel bored, disconnected, or unmotivated, do not assume something is broken. Motivation powered by pressure collapses once pressure is removed. A different energy must replace it. This energy grows quietly. It does not push or rush. It attracts. Before it appears, the old fuel must burn out completely. Emptiness marks the moment when that exhaustion is finally allowed. This phase exposes how much movement was driven by fear. Fear of falling behind. Fear of being nothing. When fear relaxes, motion pauses. That pause feels like absence, but it is honesty. You are no longer moving to escape discomfort. You are waiting to feel what remains when fear stops directing every choice. Emptiness reveals truth without urgency. Do not measure this phase with timelines. Emptiness does not respond to deadlines. It resolves through patience. Each time you resist filling the space, you strengthen trust in your inner rhythm. That trust becomes grounding. Without it, future clarity would feel unsafe. Staying present during emptiness trains your system to tolerate stillness without panic. Eventually, subtle signals return. Small curiosities, gentle interest. They arrive without excitement. This matters. Loud desire belongs to old cycles. New alignment speaks softly. If you rush, you miss it. Emptiness refines your sensitivity so you can recognize these quiet signals when they appear. Direction does not announce itself. It settles naturally. Many people abandon this phase too early. They interpret calm as lack of purpose. But purpose does not shout after collapse. It rebuilds quietly. If you stay, your nervous system stops bracing for impact. When bracing ends, energy becomes available again. This energy feels different. It is steady, grounded, and sustainable. It does not rush you forward. It supports you from within. Emptiness removes external validation. There is nothing here to prove. No urgency. No applause. This can feel lonely. But solitude is required for recalibration. When outside reference fades, internal alignment strengthens. You stop asking what makes sense to others and begin sensing what feels true to you. This shift is subtle, but it restores self-trust gradually. Your body participates in this phase. Fatigue, heaviness, slower pace. These are not problems to fix. They are signals of integration. Your system is reorganizing without adrenaline. Rest becomes productive here. When you stop forcing recovery, the body completes its adjustment naturally. Ignoring this slows the process. Listening allows it to finish. If you allow emptiness fully, it transforms into spaciousness. The same space that scared you begins to feel open. Possibility returns without pressure. Choice feels lighter. You are no longer escaping something. You are standing on neutral ground. From here, direction can be sensed clearly without distortion or urgency. This is where alignment begins forming. This is why emptiness follows letting go. It clears residue. It dissolves momentum. It resets perception. Skipping this phase means dragging the past forward. Staying allows the future to form cleanly. Emptiness is not a delay. It is preparation. When it completes, movement returns without force and direction feels calm instead of demanding. Not everyone around you will understand this phase. They may interpret your stillness as confusion or lack of ambition. Let them. Explaining interrupts integration. This moment does not require defense or justification. It requires protection. Quiet allows coherence to return. When you stop translating your inner process for others, your system settles faster, and clarity has space to form naturally. Emptiness does not mean nothing is happening. It means important things are happening beneath awareness. Just as seeds do not sprout immediately, alignment needs darkness and time. Growth is occurring where you cannot measure it yet. Trusting this unseen work prevents you from interfering prematurely. Patience allows the internal structure to solidify before movement resumes. Eventually, movement returns on its own. Not because you forced motivation, but because resistance ended. This movement feels right without explanation. There is no rush attached to it. That is how you know emptiness completed its role. Action born from alignment feels calm. It does not drain you. It carries you forward without internal conflict. If you are in this space now, do not hurry ahead. Let emptiness finish teaching you. It teaches patience, self-trust, and inner reference. Without these, direction collapses under pressure. This phase is building a foundation that future choices will stand on. Skipping it weakens everything that comes next. Soon this phase will pass quietly. You may not notice the exact moment clarity begins to appear. That is normal. Alignment does not announce itself. It settles gradually. One day, you will simply feel less pulled and more placed. That is when you realize emptiness was never absence, it was preparation for stability. When clarity starts to return, it feels simple, almost too simple. There is no emotional charge attached to it. That simplicity can feel suspicious to a mind used to struggle, but ease is the signal. When something aligns, it does not demand justification. You stop rehearsing reasons. You simply know. This knowing is quiet, stable, and unforced. That is how alignment feels after emptiness completes its work. You may notice that old doubts no longer pull you back, not because they were answered, but because they lost importance. When emptiness clears emotional residue, questions dissolve on their own. The need to analyze fades. Direction becomes obvious through feeling, not logic. This shift marks the end of internal negotiation and the return of inner authority. At this point, you are no longer searching. You are allowing. Life begins responding subtly, without dramatic signs. Small confirmations appear through ease, timing, and reduced resistance. You feel supported without needing proof. This is how alignment stabilizes. Not through excitement, but through consistency. What once felt empty now feels spacious and trustworthy. Looking back, you may realize the emptiness was the most honest phase. It stripped illusion. It removed false momentum. It forced stillness when force no longer worked. Without this pause, direction would have been distorted. Emptiness gave you neutral ground. From here, choices are clean. They do not carry old weight forward. This is the moment you stop asking what comes next. Not because nothing comes, but because trust returned. Direction will unfold step by step without urgency. You are no longer chasing peace. You are moving from it. The emptiness did not take something from you. It returned you to yourself. If this message helped you stay with this phase, remain connected. The next video explores why nothing excites you after a major ending, and why that signals realignment, not loss. Comment, "I stayed," to anchor this moment internally.